The Rainbow Six Siege team is always working to shake things up. And for Operation Chimera and Outbreak, we talked to the developers to find out how the alien-infused co-op event got its start, discover what Lion's drone did before it took to the sky, and learn how exactly you go about buffing the entire attacking team.
Usually when we design new operators, we make them very strong to make sure that we can see what is functional, what is not. You need to see right away what's fun. And then we bring them down to something more playable. The first version of Finka were extremely powerful. Like, she used to give the speed boost, which means she could literally turn Ash into a 5-speed. And on top of that, people affected by the Finka boost had the glass vision. So 5-speed Ash with glass vision. It's like you make a drawing. You have the broad lines first, and then you make things more sharp and accurate.
You'll notice that there's a scar across her face. Yeah, that happened during a CQB training with Capcan, and needless to say, she gave as good as she got, and that kind of cemented a little bit of a kind of silent respect between the two. They gave her the nickname Knife, which is what her name means.
The scar is very important because it's part of the story of the character, and it's something we're trying to push a lot. In our new characters, they are wearing their story on them.
But she's also really good friends with one of our favorite operators, Tachanka. You know, drinking buddies. I think they can drink anybody under the table, and I wouldn't put it past her to kind of give herself a boost to absorb the alcohol just a little bit better than Tachanka can.
So I had this crazy idea when we started out the Lion. I wanted to have a completely new gameplay. I wanted to bring something like absolutely exotic and like fresh to R6. And so we had this little hovering sphere, all right? Like, stick with me, okay? So you would throw this little flying drone, it would stick to the surface you were pointing. It would emit pulses, and those pulses, if you get caught in, it would reveal your position. But we ran into some issues with that design, even though it was really fun to use and it gave way to a lot of like creative scenarios. So we went to a different design, put a drone in the sky, and we were like, okay, so this is going to be a global, it's going to affect everyone. Everything kind of fell into place. We were like, okay, individual charges, that worked super well. So it was fun for Lion, it felt fair for the defenders, and that's really when we thought we hit the sweet spot with it.
And we wanted this character to have a strong presence into the game, so that's why it's so big. Honestly, we pushed a lot the tech to get this character clearly bigger than the others.
So Lion is both an attitude of his approach to things. It's also the fact that he had a loud voice and he was able to maintain quarantine lines just by yelling at people.
Getting your eyes on the hostiles!
And it's also the fact that when his drone roars, everybody goes still.
The coolest part of the design process is not the process itself, it's what happens next. It's when you release the operator into the wild and it becomes something. When it's on our computer, it's nothing. We play it a bit, it's fun, it's an idea. But when the players take these operators and makes something out of it and craft the game around this persona, that is when it becomes fascinating.
You know, we always have this fantasy when we talk about Rainbow Six Siege, and especially on the attack side, this tactical fantasy, you know, like synchronization between teammates. Okay, I'm putting my breach out. Okay, guys, 3, 2, 1, smoke, smoke, go, go. So every gameplay that can induce this kind of behavior is very interesting for us. And I think Finka and Lion have abilities that induce and encourage synchronization between the players.
That player synchronization takes on a different form in Outbreak, a co-op event in which 3 players team up to take on a decidedly different threat.
For Outbreak, it was a dream since the beginning. In a Clancy universe, do something a bit crazy, you know?
We wanted to showcase the operators. We wanted to take the operators that fans knew and loved and give them room to breathe. And suddenly it's like, ooh, Thermite, that scene with Thermite and Ash is really good. We need to do something more with that.
When we started to design the Outbreak enemies, everything started with an infection. In fact, we wanted to something alien, but also that has developed and evolved on Earth. Yeah, it was very interesting and very different than what we used to do.
It was extremely fun for us to be in contact with such a kind of universe. It's an entire disruption of what Siege is about. It's less on destruction, it's more on the rhythm, it's versus enemies running towards you. So this disruption is absolutely insane. You're playing at 3 instead of 5, etc. So that's it. It's a disruption. 4 weeks to do something absolutely different, and also with a bit more storytelling about our operators.
These are hot zone specialists?
Today, in terms of calendar, we are not thinking about year 3, year 4, but it's way more than that. In fact, the player needs to understand that the game is going to be updated, always, and change always, because I want this game alive for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. The limit doesn't exist.
We had the opportunity, to rework our framework, and so rework the way we are making operator by having more time and more technical possibility. So it leads us to having like the luxury to answer like more ambitious questions, like for example, what is an operator that never dies? What is an operator that is in the map even before the preparation phase, and what are the impacts? Expect to have even more crazy gameplay area being explored for this year.